What's up guys, Vincent here from 271 Honda Performance, and today in this tech video series we are going to show you guys how to service, maintain, and check 3 critical fluids in your Honda Civic. For this video we're going to be using Ryan's 2017 Honda Civic Type R. We're going to change engine oil, brake fluid, and transmission fluid. We're going to show you guys how to do it. We're going to show you and suggest recommended fluids, as well as maintenance tips, service intervals, and a couple other tips and tricks specific for these GDIs and temp gens. So follow along, we're gonna dive right into it and teach you guys what's up. Let's go. All right guys, so the first thing we're gonna change today is the engine oil on this Type R. So both the L15 and the K20, as in the SI, hatchback, and the Type R, call for 0W20 weight oil, which is what we generally recommend for basic bolt-ons, stock power levels, and guys that are just commuting, driving the car daily, all of that stuff. Today we're going to be using a Mobil 1 full synthetic 0W20. That is a perfectly fine oil for guys on the street, you know, light track days, things like that. There's tons of options you can dig into. We run things like Motul and Yoast Torco, things like that all the time. We are also going to do a filter change, new OEM Honda oil filter with a new crush washer as well for the drain plug, which is always recommended. You're going to want to keep that. That way you don't have any leaks, don't have any issues or anything like that. Engine oil, needless to say, is super critical in these cars. It's the lifeblood of your engine, something that sees a lot of heat. It gets hot, it gets cold, it gets a lot of dirt, it sees a lot of pressure. So it's a very important fluid and obviously what you're going to be changing the most. So we're gonna dive into it, we're gonna change the oil, we're gonna give you a couple little tips and tricks about how much goes in it, what kind of oils we suggest as well, and some tips and tricks on the weight, because a lot of guys ask about going to thicker weight and stuff like that. So we're gonna talk into that a little bit and see what's up. For now, we're gonna get this guy in the air, drain it. Generally like to start with our oil filler cap, and I like to place it in the hood latch. What this makes sure is that we get oil back in the car and that we don't forget about it. So we're not gonna be able to close our hood because our filler cap is here. That's gonna make sure we get it in, tighten it, and it's our final check. So we start with that and we end with that.
To remove the skid plate, we're going to undo the 2 Phillips screws in the front and then the 6 flatheads in the back.
After the skid plate is off, this is where we're going to get access to the 2 things we need: engine oil filter and our engine oil drain plug. Alright guys, so a couple tips about the engine oil on your Hondas. Service interval, we recommend changing it about every 5,000 miles. If you're going to be doing some heavy racing, heavy track duty, things like that, we recommend about every 35 to 4,500 miles. Now, a quick topic on the oil weight. OEM weight is a 0W20 for both the SI, Type R, FK7s, all of those. Generally speaking, 0W20 is going to be just fine for normal driving conditions, daily commutes, and very light track days. Here we recommend going up to 5W30 under 3 conditions. 1, if you're going to run an ethanol blended fuel. 2, if power output's going to increase by about 50%. 3, if you're going to be in a really high heat, really aggressive track-like system. Everything else, the 0W20 is going to be just fine. No need to go thicker. If you're going to be in one of those 3 conditions, we're going to recommend going up to that 5W30 so you have that extra protection for when things start to get really hot. We're going to look out for a blog in the future. We're going to talk about this a little bit more, give you guys some more insight on that. For this case, the 0W20 is going to be just fine, and we're going to get taking this filter off and dig right back into it.
Next, we're going to loosen up the oil filter and let all the oil drain out for a little bit. Make sure you have the drain pan underneath it to catch everything. And then once that's all settled out, you can go ahead and remove it and get ready to put on the new one. Before we install the new oil filter, we like to take a rag and just clean around the oil filter housing. Make sure there's no dirt or debris that can get into the housing for a new oil filter. Make sure that the O-ring was removed from the old one and that everything's nice and tidy. Generally, we like to take the new oil filter and fill it up about halfway with fresh clean oil. We're also going to lube the O-ring on the oil filter so it's a nice tight seal. Once you screw it on and go ahead and to install it, we only need to get it about hand tight. Don't have to wrench it on or anything too crazy, just nice and snug. Once you're done filling the car with the correct amount of oil, we like to start it up, make sure we check for any leaks or anything like that. Turn it off, make sure everything's nice and tight once more, and then we're good to go. We hope you enjoyed this video, and make sure to stay tuned for parts 2 and 3 of this video where we cover transmission and brake fluid. This is Vincent here of 271 Performance. Thanks for tuning in, and we'll catch you next time.